Hello, everybody. What's going on? Hello. Hi, welcome, greetings, hi, hello, howdy, hey. My name is Zeed. Happy to have you all here. Welcome back. Welcome to all those who are missing. Welcome to all those who've returned, and welcome to all those in the middle as well. What's up, Chloe? How you doing? Thank you 1,000 bits. Not able to stick around since you're at work, but I hope you had a good time at TwitchCon, as well as anyone else in chat who went to it. I hope that everybody who went to it had a good time as well. Thank you guys for the hype trade. And let's not forget, we almost cut off Cynthia's 24 months. So 2 years from Mostly Sun. Thank you so much. Sable and I with the 49 months. Crystal with those 500 bits. And the 1,000 gift sub in the channel going out to Kate.
Does he look like a bitch?
So... sounds like I caught a case of the conflu. No, I actually, so far, seem to have escaped it. So here's hoping. Still could be something that percolates together, but thus far, we are good to go. So, I've been missing for a couple days. Some of you might have known, some of you might not have. Thank you again for the near-finished level 3 hype train. I appreciate you all. I've been missing y'all. Gaming Wolf, thank you for 27 months and finishing that level 3. Sigmeyer, 32 months. I got to see Sigmeyer multiple times during TwitchCon, and it was great. They were very kind and fun, and it was good to get to chat a bit and all that. Thank you, Sigmeyer. 32 months, the Ultra Sub Tier 3. Thank you so much again. Crystal with those 500 bits, and like I said, the 1,000th gift sub to the channel, which is a huge, overwhelming deal. So thank you, Unipeg. Emmy Hunter with the initial sub. Welcome, Emmy. Happy to have you all here. Crazy in Outer Space, 61 months. That's just over 2 years, guys. Thank you so much. Crystal with that gifted sub to pick with Kate. And the 5 gifted subs going to Aaron Lynn, Tommy H, Doomed Knifey, the Useless Megami, and Hailuli WS, all from Unipeg as well. Jenny with the 58 months. Welcome back. Thank you. Crystal with another 500 bits. And stepping us into that level 4 hype train again. Bugle something with the 55 months. Does this mean I'm old? It's only 2 years, so nah. Scott Hobb with the gifted sub to Katarina. Congratulations, Katarina. Scott, thank you. Ali Evermore, 56 months as well. And Jassy starting us off with 54 months. Thank you so much. Let's see. It's always kind of interesting to go through and see, like, the people who followed during TwitchCon as well. Buffy is doing good. She is in her spot. She is back. Hi, girl. Good Buffy. I love you. She is back home and happy. But they did a good job of like sending me pictures and keeping me updated and stuff on how she was doing. So I really appreciated them for that. I didn't need and I didn't use the webcam into the room much. So I could probably save just a little bit of expense on that next time. Because they did such a good job of keeping me up to date and I was busy and stuff. So it was like, I'd get texts every day saying that she's fine. All right, so much FOMO. Listen, it was a great time, and I would have loved to have seen all of you. The meetup was a lot less, like, it was interesting. We had a much bigger meetup because there were quite a few people there, quite a few more people there, but I saw quite a fewer people coming, which is fine, you know, like, I mean, again, it's kind of the way the channel's been working. And so I was a little bit, not bored by any means, but, you know, it was a little bit quieter for me. I was able to just kind of be there to help support and take care of friends. And but let's see. In terms of, I'm going to miss someone and they're going to be offended where really I love all of them. Hope it wasn't that harsh. Sorry, just a second. Kieran, Thank you for the sub. Pie of Conquer with the 34 months. Haven't seen you in a few days. Sounds like you went somewhere. I did. Verkey. Thank you for 43 months as well. Thank you guys again for halfway through that level 4. I really do appreciate it. Verkey with the Ultra sub, 43 months as well. So, did I see the pandas at the zoo? I did not make it to the zoo. I planned on going to the zoo, and then the day that I was going to go to the zoo was the day that I also considered buying a hacksaw and taking my legs off. So I never did go to the zoo, but I believe the pandas were there. I'm sure they were adorable, and that's about all I needed. Sapog, they had 41 months. So at any rate, I saw like, I mean, you know, quite a few from the community, and then on the Max side, I saw basically everybody but Max. Max and Dryad weren't there, but I saw, and obviously Charlie since he's in the UK, but I saw Dare, I saw Krista, I saw Pookie, I saw Jerry, I saw Segi, I saw Dom, and I saw Ross. So it was great hanging with all of them, and Busy as well. I saw Siri briefly at the con itself. The rest of them I was able to actually go and hang, and then Fizzy's boyfriend. So they were all great to kind of hang with. JP I saw everywhere. JP is like, you know, he's outgoing enough to a point where it's like, you know, everybody he's just everywhere, you know, like there's those people that just they have so much energy and so much vibrancy, and they're just, so JP was just everywhere. You couldn't get away from damn JP. Man, even if you wanted to get away from JP, you couldn't get away from JP, you know what I'm saying? But no, it was great seeing all of them. The number of people that were in the other friend group was just absolutely ridiculous. Kind of built around the bonsais, but you know, I've tried to retweet some of the pictures and some of the folks and stuff. It's like I'm worried about name checking anybody, because inevitably someone will get missed on the name check, and then they're gonna be like, "Well, fuck you too, Zine," and that's fair because fuck me, right? But there were a ton of people, and it was great. It was great seeing them. Let's see, we had all right. Let's see if we can do this. Slack, Send It, Elena, Greg, Tater Tot, Nix. And let's see, Kara, obviously, and let's see, we had Junk, we had the Bonsais, we had Z, we had Toast, we had Chilled, I saw Gassy, I saw Beth, Jojo, Elena, I already said Elena, Jojo, Marisa, and Gracie, Azza, Pinky, Trubella. Who else is in my head? If I missed you, I said, oh, Bryce. It was great seeing Bryce as well. If I didn't get you included, then it's because you're not in the picture. Nerd, you're not in the picture. That's mostly why. 'Cause there's so many people like, but this year was really cool because what really stood out to me is that the friend group backed each other up 100% every step of the way. They were, oh, don't forget M and Thunder. But the friend group just backed each other up, and it was really neat. Like there were, you know, some people had some issues or something, and it was like, you know, like sometimes you get a group of people together and there's, you know, like they're all as a group. They got their sub cliques and stuff like that. Like this didn't have any intra group drama. It was just everybody just there supporting and helping each other, and that was all really cool. To just see them support each other. That was really what stood to me. Is it was like it was a very, very supportive group, and particularly, and I kind of tweeted about this, particularly like. I obviously guys can be dicks to girls, guys can be dicks to guys, but like there are those girls that, as much as you might enjoy them, they're just catty to other women, and I I'm sure they're out there, but I can't think of many guys that are just like innately angry at other guys. And I can think of girls there. And again, it's like I'm not trying to cast gender roles or anything like that, but it's just something that I've noticed with certain people. And man, the girls in this one, they all had each other's backs. Like we men were lucky to be along for the ride, but the girls just like supported and lifted each other up, and they were all more beautiful with each other than worrying about whether one was doing this or that, or like, it was just so supportive and so great that way. So at any rate, what's up, Johnny, Switchy, Keith, and Empty Shadows of Man as well. So girls can be annoying. I mean, obviously everybody can be annoying and stuff like that, but there wasn't any cattiness. There wasn't anything like that. It was just people supporting. I did see Juice. I did see Juice and several others as well. Pasta was there, and like I said, it was just the names. Like, there's so many, right? And I just love them all. So Firelord, thank you for the 3 years. Akiran with the 2 years. Been busy with RL stuff, mainly a major water leak in my house we were trying to fight. I hope you got it resolved. Also been trying stuff to get healthier. Well, I hope that's going well as well. What's up, Kamiki? Hi, Dutch. Nova and Scared Gaber. I missed you guys. Let's see what else. It was fun in that just seeing the group kind of be there. Like, the group definitely made it fun. I've been doing this long enough that now I try and minimize the number of hard requirements or invitations or plans and stuff. Like, I try and kind of be a leaf in the wind and just kind of, I mean, really, I'm there for the friend group. So where the friend group goes, I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go do that. Why not? There were a couple times that people split off to go to some of the invite-only parties, but for the most part, even that wasn't that much. I didn't miss you guys. Oh, I'm not lying. I missed you guys. So it's always a little bit difficult and interesting to kind of go through, because you see these people that are just so incredibly dynamic and charismatic, and they carry the room with them wherever they go. Blizz and Platty are the two that come to mind for that. I got them. I didn't know Blizz prior to this. Got to, we didn't hang out a ton, but got to kind of chat a little bit and be around each other. And Blizz was really cool to kind of get to know. But and Platty and John Sandman, they just, when they're in a room, the room is about them and where they are in the room. Like those people. It's really cool to see. It's really cool to see them be that like hyper dynamic, hyper charismatic. But it's also like a tough in a way, because it's like you have to recognize and accept and understand, like, you will never be like that. Is an X factor that I don't think can be trained in the slightest. Like, I think either you just have that outgoing extroversion charisma or you don't, it's a rare gift, and it's really cool to see it on them. So that's fun. It's fun to just kind of talk to him and stuff like that. Got to hang with Platty for a few minutes. Platty and I talked to some of the Twitch folks about some of the features and things pretty intently, and got to kind of get listened to by them. The Stream Elements folks wanted to talk to me, and was able to sit and talk with them about some of their upcoming stuff a bit. And so that was neat to kind of, have some input and that sort of thing. But it's been kind of interesting, because you go to Twitter and you see just a whole array of TwitchCon posts. And there's the TwitchCon posts of just people saying, just, wow, had a blast. These people supported me. There's the people that are like, TwitchCon was okay. I hate San Diego, blah, 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 blah. And then there were the ones that were like, just drama and, oh my God, the kick people are causing problems and all that. And it, any sort of large group or like large gathering like that, where you have thousands of people, you know, you're going to have an entire array of positive and negative experiences, and that's just the nature of life, really. But I really feel like TwitchCon, you get kind of what you go into it with. I think that those that go into it with a negative mindset are very likely to have a negative experience, but everybody that I know who went into it just like, I'm here for friends, I'm here for the experience, I'm here for to enjoy, did. And like all of it felt a little bit more mature this year. And maybe that was just me or something, but everybody who, anytime there was drama that was attempted to get started or that was happening off in the corner, like all of us just like rolled our eyes and just like turned away from it. Like we're not with them. Like no, like we just weren't about it, and that was nice. One thing that did stand out to me is red flag that I may or may not be getting old. You know, I'd been like pretty much every night you go and you do the thing, you walk around, you chat with people and stuff, and then it's like, okay, where are we going for dinner? And then what are we doing after? And it's, you know, usually you end up at some sort of bar or you know, social situation, and you're having drinks and you're having a cigar or something, and you know, that sort of thing. And like, I think it might have been Monday night. I think it was Monday night. Like around Monday, I went out to grab drinks, and I just realized like I did not need another drink, like at all. I was just like, it didn't sound appealing. I had hit my quota for alcohol, and I was just like, I'm done. Like I don't need idiot. Like I'll have a Coke, you know, and I'll just like go from there. And even like on in the airports, on the plane and stuff, I'm just like, I do not need alcohol. Like just a Coke and I'm done. You know, we move forward. So I hit my limit. CCM, thank you to 88 months, almost 5 years there, guys. I had plenty of drinks up to that point. Like there were some nights that were I'm not a get drunk guy. But you know, there were plenty of nights that I got a little toasty and add a little cigar nicotine into it and felt okay. But I just hit a point and I was just like, I'm good, you know? Hi, Melissa. So, you can throw your random question out. You're welcome to. So, but yeah, pretty much everybody I saw, and I'm not trying to discount their experience, but at the same time, I'm just giving a counterpoint to it. Pretty much everybody I saw that came out like with a negative take about TwitchCon on Twitter, it was like, there was no way that person was ever going to have anything other than a negative experience. You know what I mean? Asherbug, thank you so much for the 2.5 years, 72 months. Thank you. I went to a karaoke bar one night, and it was way too loud and it was way too crowded. I did one song. People said that it went okay. I couldn't hear a damn thing, so I have no idea if the mic was even on. But for the most part, we kind of hung at a bar that was nearby, and like most of the nights, it was pretty chill, spacious. You had room. You could do whatever you needed to, and it was nice. Saturday, for whatever reason, apparently on Saturdays, instead of it being the bar that we had gotten used to, it suddenly became a fucking nightclub, and the music was 800 decibels and you know, bumping and stuff. And it was fun in its own regard that way, but it was certainly like, oh, okay, you know, like not what we were here for. So, at any rate, at some time you mentioned the North Remembers, and I'm curious if it is the North Remembers that I know. I do not remember mentioning the North Remembers. Although the only North Remembers that I am aware of would have been a Game of Thrones reference, but I don't remember saying it. Today you learn I smoke. I have the occasional cigar, Fire Lord. I do not smoke cigarettes. I do not vape or anything like that. But a cigar can be nice in a specific social situations, you know. But yeah, I was never a big club guy, and I was there to talk with friends and hang with friends, and so the nights where the music was too loud and I felt like I was getting hearing loss, like those were my least favorite moments. But in general, I was able to kind of avoid that. Some of the parties and stuff, from what I understand, were much more that way. The blurb through like a half dozen parties, it seemed, and there was always a blurb party coming, and I never heard anything good about the blurb parties. But for the most part, I don't qualify for any of the invite only stuff, right? Like I don't get into the fancy stuff. And even the Stream Elements stuff, where Stream Elements had been kind of chasing me, like, because, you know, I'm a what they refer to as a top performer on their sponsorships and stuff. Like, even their parties, I was like, hey, messing my rep, like, hey, can I get into this? And he's like, and so, let's see, I don't think you even swallow the smoke. You just bring it into your mouth and then kind of exhale. So, the street party, I never ended up making it to. I got the thing for it, and it was literally like they took over like 2 blocks of 5th Street. Like, it was a big deal from what I could tell. But I ended up in the bar with friends, and we just kind of chilled there through most of it. So, at any rate, like, but you know, I had a lot of fun. I was talking with another friend who, you know, isn't a streamer but is a viewer, and they were like, maybe I should go to TwitchCon, and I was like, I can't speak to the experience of being a community member and being there. I don't know what that's like, because it's very different, you know. Like, I mean, people go to it for very different things. There's like this 1.5% to 1% of people that are there that are like, see it as a giant business opportunity. They're there to network and to clout chase and to all that, and it's like, I don't fuck with that much. But I go to it not because of the shows that Twitch puts on. I don't really go to. I spend like an hour of like invested appraisal of the con floor. You know, like the convention itself, the con floor. Like, I'm there because we're meeting someone or we're going somewhere, not because I'm like, you know. Again, it's I'm going to go walk the con floor, and then an hour later, it's like, all right, I'm good, I'm done, I've seen it all. So other than that, I'm just there to meet the people and friends that I play with and that I hang out with and that I enjoy in person, in a rare instance, instead of it just being online. And that is entirely why I exist in that space. And so I don't really know as a viewer, like, what whether I can suggest it or recommend it or anything like that. Like, I know that there's shows. I mean, when I did stop and watch MCC Rivals, and I know they usually always have things going on. Obviously, there's meet and greets with various creators, and the floor. But it's like, I would worry if you were going to go. I would worry if you were planning on doing like a full 3-day like, you know, as a viewer, I feel like you'd be pretty bored halfway through, you know. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's just like, again, as someone not in the middle, without that perspective, I don't know how you fill your time. The one thing that I always worry about and recommend is don't ever go as a viewer specifically and only for one creator. You know, it's a lot of pressure on them that you're like, oh, the only reason I'm here is for you. Like, it's a lot of pressure on them to like feel like they need to ensure that you have a good time, and quite frankly, it's not their responsibility. But also, like, again, you're gonna get bored. Like, they can't pick you up and carry you around and entertain you, you know, like that. I realize that in our shows and stuff, we're trying to be entertaining, but that's not what we're doing here. Why is Pretzel keep stopping? Keep going there, buddy. That's not, you know, like, we're kind of clocked out in a. I mean, we're definitely not clocked out, but we are in a way. So it's very, very. I don't know. I don't know how to. When people say like, should I go? I'm like, I don't know how to answer that. You know. So at any rate, let's see. You were taught to swallow. I'm glad that you swallow. Hi, Blood Shard. How you doing? So, at any rate, I didn't do a whole lot of Hi Fox Angel touristy things. I was pretty busy. I will say that like the MVPs for me was, I mean, Kara is always kind of an MVP there, but Gracie and Azza became kind of like fast good buddies, you know. And I didn't know Gracie that well, but she is just an absolute sweetheart. And got to spend time with Azza, Gracie, and some of the others. We all one day went to a speakeasy, which was kind of crazy. Emerome had found a speakeasy that you needed I don't know how it all worked out, but basically it was like we had to go ask a guy at the front about the speakeasy, but we also needed to give a password when we did so. And then we were told to go find the red book in the library. So we go into the building, which is like a like kind of a you know, high-rise apartment complex, but there's, you know, just a bunch of books and stuff in kind of the foyer. And so we find the red book, and we're like wondering what we do. And we open it and we look, and in the front it says be seated, and the librarian will come and get you. And so we sit down, and then after a while one of the bookshelves opens and is a hidden door, and they come out and they take us back into kind of a hidden room, and, you know, do drinks and all that. And it was kind of it was an interesting gimmick, you know. It was kind of cool, but so we did that one day. I don't know, man. I just a lot of walking. I did probably 3 business meetings or business-ish. One was weird. I'm still kind of curious about it, but it was like meeting with an agency that represents some of my friends, and so they were doing a lunch, and so we got invited to that. But we went, but they like didn't talk business at all until we brought it up. Until we were like, are we? Yeah, because otherwise they were just giving us food. Like, yeah, go ahead, it's fine, we'll buy it. And I'm like, can we talk about what you do? And they're like, oh, I guess if you want. Like, yeah, that's kind of why we're here, right? Congrats, Ecto. Good night, Fire Lord. But anyway, I had a lot of fun. I'm pretty tired, as you guys can probably pick up. I have lockdown in 3 hours with Max. I don't think I'm gonna stay alive till then. I think I might end up like kind of going off and getting some rest, and then kind of picking back up and doing a full thing, starting with that. But because it's still like hard to like I can feel myself, like, even though I'm like, yeah, I'm here, let's go, guys, it's like, let's stream, let's do it, let's talk, and then I'm like, I don't remember anything, I just need a nap, is kind of where my brain starts like winding down to. Dex, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. To the Flamingo, Twinkle Phoenix, Twinkle Phoenix, Astrixacat, Cyrus the Wasky, Nalarite, Mooncake, Philly Chris, Ziwan Zhao, Lashtovik, and Papa Mouse Watches. All from Dex Master. Dex, thank you so much. Have I eaten today? Nah, food. Maybe what I'll do is I'll order some pizza, and when it gets here, then I'll go offline and eat, and then food coma it up until it's time for Max. Maybe that's the play. So I'd say I hung with Kara, Ozza, and Gracie the most. The Slack, Send It, and Slack and Send It were like the two that I kind of knew less than most, and like we're like, these guys are really cool. I mean, Nick's a little bit nerd, but the like people that I knew of but didn't know well, that I was lucky to get a chance to kind of hang with and really get to know a little bit better, just spend a little bit more time with them. They were all pretty groovy. Bryce McQuaid, that was kind of a thing where I realized that they didn't quite have as much information of where everything was happening, and so I kind of tried to reach out and have them, help them kind of. I mean, not that it was all me, but they would have gotten in without me, but to try and make sure that they got invites to where things were happening and stuff until they got in on the invite list and everything like that. So it was fun getting to kind of spend and get to know Bryce a little bit more, and Rhea. They were both really cool. And hopefully can kind of do some more stuff with them in the future. So you saw a bit of me with Pionk. Pionk was there. I believe I saw Pionk there. Yep. What's up, C-Rec Live? How you doing? Hello, young man. Well, that ain't me. I don't know who you're talking to, but how's it going? Terrestrial Torvis, thank you for 21 months. Flasco Fire, thank you for the initial sub. Asher Bug again with those 72 months. And CCM 88 months. Zombie Craft with a 38. Thank you guys. It is very difficult to be there and kind of I don't know how to say this without it sounding melodramatic. Because it's like it seems melodramatic, and maybe it is, but it's like you kind of learn your place and where you are, the social structure and stuff, and it's like I've been like kind of having to work out like to recognize and understand and accept that like I am a supporting character in the cast of the world, at least in my friends group cast. Like there are main characters and supporting characters, and it's like Kara or Platy or Speedy or M or Elena. Like all of these people just they say I'm doing this, and everybody else goes, "Oh, that person's going there. I wish to be with that person," and they go there. And I am very much a if I were to be like, I'm going here, people are like, all right, we'll catch you later, and it just is what it is. Like you gotta kind of accept the realities of it. But it's like it makes me wonder the only negative of that, because I don't mind being that. The only negative of that though is whether or not that's enough to like draw to continue to support and maintain the channel in the long term. I mean, we've been here for 9 years and we've done a pretty good job, but it's been a long time since we've had like channel growth and that sort of thing. And being around all these people and seeing how dynamic and charismatic they are, and these are the ones that are doing well and killing it. You kind of start to realize like they have an energy and a something that I do not. And so the question becomes, can I figure out how to have that something? Can I survive as the person who gets by without that something, but still has a nut? Like, there's a lot of questions that you kind of have to ask yourself just in terms of the dynamics of content creation and you are seeking a place in the upper echelons of a popularity contest. You're leaving when I become energetic, bro. I haven't been energetic for like 3 years, but nonetheless. What's up, Sully? How you doing? I appreciate that, Abby. What's up, Dramamine Dream? Hi, Draco. So, like, there's definitely like it's interesting because it's like I'm very blessed for the friend group that I have, but there does come a point where it's like I don't know how much longer we can do this, and again I recognize that in particular sounds melodramatic, and I don't mean it to be. I'm not like guys, we're canceling, we're shutting it down and stuff, everything must go. bid on, but there's realities to it that you've got to be like, this entire landscape has shifted 18,000 different times while I've been doing it. How you stream now is not how you streamed a year ago, is not how you streamed several come here. Come on. Several years ago. Come here. Come on. Oh, I missed you though, you sweetheart. You little sweetheart, you. Oh my goodness, you smell so good because you got a bath from the borders. Yeah, you went to a pet resort. And I got pictures of you daily where you were just looking so freaking cute. And I was like, why don't you ever look that cute for me? And I realized you do look that cute for me. You look that cute for me all the time, you little monster. But missed this little mutt. Good girl. I tweeted out some of the pictures that they sent me. Hi, Ori Moon. How you doing? I found you within the past year, and I dig the vibes. You're funny and shit. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you think so. And it's not a matter of I'm not down on myself in terms of who I am or what I do or anything like that. I think that we provide a very cool niche to Twitch, where it is again that we are a little bit older for the most part. We are a little bit calmer, sometimes a little pervier, but a little bit calmer. And we're about support, and we're about helping each other and being good instead of a lot of these other things. But it gets tiring watching these hyper successful people that are built off of the 15-year-old toxicity, and it's just oh, cool, but we out here, we doing what we do, I look great for 28. Thank you, Sigmeyer. Thank you. Oh my God, it's true, Bella. I got to meet Bella so many times, and I got to watch her even more, which sounds kind of creepy now that I say it like that. But really, I got to, and Bella was really cool, and I was lucky to get to hang with her and friends. So, but like I said, ultimately it comes down to I'm always concerned and stressed over the long-term viability, but we're going to be out here. We're going to be doing the best that we can for as long as we can. And maybe I don't know, maybe at some point we figure out what the magic sauce is to start generating some more interest and stuff like that, because I don't think that there's not viewers. I think that there's not marketing, and I think that there's that people that don't necessarily know that we're here and what we do. And I mean, I think that's the majority of streams, right? That said, I do, this is one of those, you've seen the memes where it's what is a take that is going to have everybody angry and pointing at swords or guns or whatever at you, and but you stand on. And I am once again reaffirmed to me that the whole idea of this whole concept of there are no small streamers, there are only streamers who haven't found their audience yet, is not right at all. There is a very, very distinct difference, and it is highlighted at TwitchCon as you deal with different people, but between those that do this for their job and they love it. There's no way you can do this for your job and not love it, honestly. But do this for their job and they love it, but it is about putting in the work, putting in the time, and figuring out how to make themselves successful. And then those who have either just through either sheer charisma or sheer luck stumbled into an audience, and then those who they like to click on the go live button, but past that it's just kind of another person sitting on their couch playing games, and I don't think that's bad. I just think that that's different, And one of the things that kind of stood that out to me, or kind of had that standing out to me, is when I was talking to Twitch and they were talking about some of the features and stuff. They were saying that certain things that they do in a very limited fashion because they are concerned that it would be overwhelming to the streamers if they gave them more power, if they gave them more ability, if they gave them more functionality or feature or quantity or whatever it is that they're talking about. So they hold back a lot of stuff to keep it to where it's manageable bites. And I think Platty was with me on that when we both kind of were like, what the hell is that? Like, either you're willing to work at this enough that you can make sense of what's there, or you aren't tall enough to ride this ride, kind of thing. And like I said, that might get people who are some people who still haven't found their audience pointing their sword at me and angry at me. And I'm not trying to point out anyone in specific or say that no one deserves it or anything like that. I'm just saying that there is a work that goes into doing this, and there are people that clearly expect it to not be work. And I did not, and was vocal in my opposing Twitch catering to those who weren't willing to do work. If that makes any sense. But again, you feel so called out. Well, I mean, I would, if you are expecting Twitch to cater to your needs, and if you are expecting to have an audience appear, and you feel bitter at those who have an audience because your audience isn't to that same level. I'm not implying one way or the other of what audience you do or don't have, or anything like that. But if you're expecting all those things, but you aren't working for it, then yeah, I'm calling you out. Otherwise, if that's not the exact situation, then I'm not talking to you, So, at any rate, hello. You were watching a new streamer who was so desperate for subs, she was considering gifting subs. It turned me off how desperate she was. That's rough. I mean, yeah, it's a process, and it's a very, very unique and very strange job, and no one goes into it knowing, like, properly trained or knowing what they should be doing or how to do it and that sort of thing. And you just got to kind of pick it up as you go. But it's one of the early things that I recommend getting over is worrying about what the numbers specifically are. Obviously, I mean, if anyone can talk, I can talk of being concerned about the long-term viability of the channel. That's different. But like, whether I have 5 subs or 10, like that, there's no amount of gifted subs that I could give to the channel that would make it worthwhile. Like that like would improve my. Anyway, I don't know how to even begin to address that other than say that's a perception that you're gonna want to work past pretty fast. So, at any rate, it's always humbling to be there. You can go and you'll have your people show up and they're like, I came here for you. I'm happy to see you. Sign my ass cheek, or probably they're more likely their access pass. But and can I get a picture with you? And you have that, and then it's like, then you can be moved to the side and have a half dozen people come and meet other people, not knowing who you are, and so it's like you are on this roller coaster where you have to mentally level it out and appreciate, what you are involved in and what you aren't involved in. This is an extremely big con in terms of, like the impact, the reach, and everything like that. We've got people that are non-English speaking, I don't like people, other countries and everything like that, and it's as big a deal to them as it is to me. But obviously, their audience isn't going to know me, and I'm not going to know them. And they're and so you start to realize, like, yes, I am a fish in this pond, and I have all of you people who come and make me feel like $1 million each night, and I'm blessed and everything like that. And then you put me in that pond, and it's like you realize this isn't a pond, this is an ocean. And it doesn't matter how big you might feel in your little pond. When you get put in the ocean, you're a pretty small little dude, If someone asked you to sign their boob, would you? No, unless it was like just the top already, like if they had like a scoop neck shirt or something like that, and they were just like along the top of it, then maybe. But in general, no, because there's too much liability there, and you need to, if you're doing it right, if you're being proper and appropriate, then it's like even on hugging pictures and stuff like that, like you're keeping your hands kind of hovered in a way and stuff like that because you don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable unintentionally. And it, like, I mean, part of it, if not a big part of it, is to protect yourself, but it's also about their comfort level, making sure you're respectful of their boundaries, because it's not like you have time to set up those boundaries and that sort of thing. So, yeah. Get to decide your boob. I mean, good luck. At any rate, you are in India and showed your YouTube to friends who love the humor. We're all subbed and often watching it. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Gritty Geralt. There were a lot of Indian people there. They were all very cool and very nice. I enjoy getting, like, I enjoy meeting all the different national people and such. This turned a bit existential, not gonna lie, but it's stuff that I'm sure burns the back of your mind. You're the main character to me. Oh, shucks, Empty Shadows, man. I mean, it's very existential to be there. It's very, you know, like, again, this is a job that is very difficult, not just in what you have to do and the time you have to do it, but, you know, you are competing for a place in a global popularity contest, and that can get pretty easy to get into your head about. So at any rate, it's on brand. Well, I mean, yes, but no, right? Like my brand, I hope, is playfulness, but with respect. And so that's where in that area, that would be where the respect comes in. Yeah, Sigmair, I signed 11-year merch for. So oops. But you know, that just means that, you know, with a simple flip, they're ready for in 2 years. It's fine. You're going to be moving to a new group home soon. I hope it goes well, Bloodshard. So anyway, like, again, I flew in. I was a little bit late getting in. Went straight to the partner party. Started meeting up with people. Got to see lots of groups, including, I mean, right off the bat, got to meet with Ross and Darren, Segi, and kind of catch up with them a little bit. But it's funny because it's like you get into a mode, and this is a little bit hard to explain, but it's like you have so many names coming at you, and you have so many faces that you're trying to remember, so many things, and you're tired. You've been walking and getting only a few hours of sleep, and you know, you're jet lagged, all these things. You're just getting dragged from the, and it's like you are, at least, and when I say you are, I'm speaking like for myself. I'm so delighted to be there, and I'm so thrilled to see everybody, but like the mental processing is gone. I am in a survival type mode, and not in a bad way, just in a don't expect deep thoughts sort of way. And by that, I mean, like, Siri showed up, and Siri said hi. And I, you know, like, you don't, I hadn't met Siri, and so they're like, hey, Zed, and I'm like, hey, and I glanced down, and I see the name Yoka Siri, and I'm like, Yoka, and then Siri's like, Siri, and I'm like, yeah, and it takes that, like, extra 10 seconds to click, like, what am I doing? What am I talking about before, like, you are in response mode? Because, but prior to that, I've had, you know, 20 encounters where it's like, hey, person, and I'm like, Bill, you know, like, you look at the badge and you're just like, hello, and you know, again, you don't mean that negatively. It's just, you're just trying to survive, and the thing you're desperately trying to do is not have anyone that came to see you, that you would leave them feeling like that you weren't interested, that you didn't care, that you were rude, any of those things, right? So yeah, the 2 points that stand out to me in this one was number one, when Siri came up and I was like, hey, Yoka, and then I was like, it's Siri, hi Siri, yes, and I don't know if Siri will forgive me, but hopefully so. The other one though, and I know he'll never forgive me, is Grizzly shows up with Max on the phone, and like, I'm FaceTiming Max and is showing everybody. camera pointing at your face, hello, like it's Max. Max is on the phone, right? And so I'm like, Max, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And then I happen to see the phone, and it's not Max's face, it's his sensor duck, which I'm in survival mode, and I go, oh, it's not Max, it's his penguin. And you couldn't really hear much because it was so loud. But I could hear him yelling at me about how it wasn't a fucking penguin quite distinctly and for quite at length. So I shall forever call him a penguin from now on. This is the way. But it was pretty funny. I like you said, I'm just like bird, distinct coloring. My brain went ding, penguin, and it's a duck. It's his sensor duck. But at any rate, it was those were the two like real standout moments. I didn't get to hang with Dare and Ross and Krista and them quite as much as I would have liked. There was a little bit of like divergent friend groups there, and they were out in an Airbnb that was kind of away from the main area, and so typically ended up kind of with the group that was at the con and that sort of thing, and so only got to really kind of spend time with them towards the end. I mean, we met up when they were in the con and stuff like that. We met up a few times, but only got to really hang out with them and do lunch and stuff right there, kind of on the last day. I think that was Monday, before everybody bailed. But I did get to make it over to the Airbnb and get to kind of spend some time with them and such, and that was nice. Sensor Duck does make similar things to me. There was a lot of Mudang, a lot of Mudang. That was big everywhere. So, and also Pesto, the giant like those two were big, Hi, Mike, Crystal, how you doing? So, anyway, Greg, Emgar, Greg is an absolute sweetie. That was made very abundantly clear, that he is all about protecting his friends and doing things for them. So that was nice. You were hoping Darren and I would get the scene together. We didn't. We were never at a bar or anything together. So we saw each other at the cons a couple times, and then we had lunch on Monday. But yeah, like I said, I only ended up at a karaoke bar one night, and it was too loud and too small to really spend time there very much. So I saw Juice, I saw Pinky and Bella and Bryce and them, and then bounced because it was so loud. So, excuse me. I don't know what tweet I said that makes sense, but probably there was a tweet that makes sense. So at any rate, but yeah, you get into a little bit of a survival mood, or survival thing, and again, it's like, I don't know, Sigmire might be able to talk about it more. But like, I'm there as much as I possibly can be there, but I'm definitely not all there. And that's travel, that's exhaustion, that's thinking about what's next, trying to remember what's in front of me. Like there's so many things you're juggling. It's very, very, it's a huge investment of your everything to try and be present and yet prepared for everything that's coming in, and then like I would go to bed, and I'm on the, it wasn't that it was a hard bed, but like the new bed that I got for myself is a very soft bed, and I like the very soft bed, so it was a hard bed comparatively. But I'd go to sleep, and then I'd be able to, I would just like pass out, like exhaustion pass out for like 3 hours, and then once that had kind of refilled enough that basically it's like you guys got your devices where they've run out of so much battery that like even when you plug them in, they just come on with a dead battery icon for a while before finally they could like reboot back into like, all right, I've got enough, I can actually start back up. Like that was basically the first you fall asleep, and for like the first 3 hours, that's just you getting past the dead battery phase, and then I'd wake up and my legs and my feet and my calves would all be tingling Like literally, without exaggeration, like tingling pain. And I'd go and I'd take some painkillers, and then I'd kind of fall back asleep. But that would be very tossy-turny type sleep because my muscles are just cramping so much. And then you wake up and you go do it all again. So the hotel was nice. It was very expensive, but it was nice in terms of location. I couldn't ask for a better location. I might try and get a slightly different one, but right there next to it in the future. They've already announced the future dates. So assuming we have managed to make it another year, then I would expect to see whomever wants to in October of next year. What's up, Abigail Slayer, Demand Lord? So, and the only complaint that besides the price, the two complaints I had about the hotel are that the drain in the shower wasn't great and could start to smell in the middle of the night a little bit. And that sort of shit, just every hotel room kind of has that stuff. So I wasn't too bothered by that, but it didn't have a hot tub. And there were some nights where I really could have gone and dangled my legs in a hot tub, and that would have been pretty nice. So that missing was unkind of them, and the other thing that cracked me up though was they called it a balcony, and I was like, bro, it was a balcony suite, okay, balcony. See if I can properly convey what balcony means in this instance. Let's see. So that was the balcony. Like literally, this is the inside of the room, and then that is the balcony. This is a sliding glass door. That is those two rungs. That was the balcony that was provided. Like, okay, I don't know much, but that doesn't seem like a balcony to me, you know? But what do I know, right? So let's see. I don't know where that one came from, but that was one picture that I thought looked okay. Let's see if we can. That was another picture that went out. I was mostly okay with that one. I don't look great, but look okay. Very, very happy about this one. Got to meet Chilled Chaos. He didn't say a lot, but I just felt so special to get to be with him, you know? Like it just really just being able to hang with Chill is just like, wow, you know? Like I said, at some point I think he even looked my way. It was pretty groovy. I kind of was going for a little bit of a theme where most all the pictures that I had, okay, go away. I don't care. Why is it doing this? It's showing me all the metadata, which I don't give a shit about. Stop it. I don't know how I made photos decide that I needed the metadata, but stop it. Okay. But I was going for a theme where pretty much all the pictures that I could find was like me like photobombing. You know? Like that was what I was kind of like, look at those. And I tweeted that one and everyone's like, oh, I just love you with them. And I was like, well, the joke and idea is I'm not supposed to be in that picture. Like that was a picture of those four ladies. And I ended up in it. And there were quite a few other ones that kind of ended up on Twitter that was kind of that same vein. And I was like, oh yeah, you know? Yeah, that's about the. I'm not a picture taker, so that's what I had. Everything else that is out there is stuff that was on Twitter, you know. As long as I didn't mind. No, I put myself in places where I was being, completely in character by being obnoxious and unwanted. Of course, I would never photobomb someone who didn't want me there. They just said, make sure you don't fall out the door balcony. Exactly. So, but it's always a great time. And I've done enough years. Like I said, I think I'm pretty much over even trying to get in to any of the invite parties. One, because I generally don't get accepted into them either, but also because there was always other stuff going on that didn't involve having a certain amount of clout or whatever. Like there were parties where they'd basically they'd fill up to capacity in quotes, and then the only people they'd let through, like they would literally check socials and stuff to see follower count or subscriber count or that sort of. And I'm like, I have no interest in dealing with those companies. Like, no, that's not me. And maybe that's why other people do better and I don't. But I will never be invested in that rat race. Hi Astrid, how you doing? So anyway, that's TwitchCon, and that was kind of the experience and everything like that I dealt with, and I loved and was very blessed to get to see several people from the community. And there's a lot of people that almost all the people that come up are like from the community are people that lurk or just kind of know of you, and so it's like you feel bad because it's rarely a name that you recognize, and you're like, what if the entire time you're saying hi and you're thanking them for watching and all that, you're like, should I know who they are more than I do? And that feels bad. That's some feels bad moments. But fortunately, the good news is I knew who Sigmire was. So we've got that going for us, which is nice. Hi Hollow Skull. It's going from day to day, hoping you'll get paid and then buy stuff that makes you no happier. I mean, I feel that on a lot of that, but you know what I mean. So there are occasionally people who is like, there's some that are clearly so socially awkward that you're trying to like kind of carry the interaction, and it's not their fault. Like people have differing social, but it's like there's some that it's a little bit tough. You're doing your best. There's some that are a little like it's just you just run this whole gambit of personalities and stuff, but really you never lose sight of the fact that like it's a privilege that you are there and that they are interested in what you do and care about what you do. And I think that it's a big deal in quotes, but it's a big deal if you're someone who has found so much success that you start taking the people who watch you for granted. And I'm glad that I'm not there. I would so totally be the most awkward weirdo. I know exactly how to handle you, Astrid, so don't worry. We meet one day and you will leave satisfied. I promise. Never expect someone to know me, and that's okay. I mean, like honestly, that's ideal. Like, and the other thing, like I was kind of saying with like Max and the Penguin or Siri, like even if I know you, even if I know everything about you, even if I chat with you, like so. In that moment, you catch me whether I'm on off guard or just in again that kind of quote unquote survival mode. It's like the interaction might be very surface, and it's not intended in a negative way to you. It's that there is so much going on mixed with the exhaustion and everything that goes along with it that I have a half of a brain cell left to dedicate to what I'm doing, and I'm doing my absolute best to make sure that half of a brain cell gives you the best encounter that I can. At any rate, your mom said that you would probably throw up from being so nervous. Well, I had someone come up and they were clearly uncomfortable socially. And timid, like their voice was kind of wavering and stuff, and they were like, they asked if they could, have me sign something for them, and their hands were shaking a little, And so I said, of course, and I signed the book for them and everything, and told them I appreciate them watching and stuff like that. Uh, and that I had been sitting down, and so I kind of returned to sitting, and they left, and I returned to sitting, and I watched them, and I saw them go, and they had who I assume was a significant other, or at least someone trusted. They kind of went and like buried their head in their shoulder, like kind of, and like like this was clearly a very difficult interaction for him. Not hopefully because it was me, but because it just the social anxiety was overwhelming, and they had gone very much outside their comfort zone to do so. And so I saw that happen for a second, and saw that they were kind of pretty worn out. And I got back up, and I went over, and I was like, hey, I don't know if this is if you're not comfortable with it, then that's perfectly fine. But I was just wondering if I could get a hug to go along. And about that point, I got glomped, and they hung on for a minute or two, and kind of just gripped pretty tight, and just had their emotional moment, and just kind of held them, and again said, "Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and you're killing it, and keep being awesome." And so then, I hope that was able to help make them feel a little bit more comfortable in that moment, and that sort of thing. I would have the other half of a brain cell, and we would have the best brain cell. So at any rate, if if you do have to throw up from meeting me from the nerves and stuff, as long as it's in a garbage can or off to the side, not on me, then I'm not gonna mind, and we'll make it work, But
Sigmair wants you to puke on a crewmate.
I'll keep that in mind, Sigmair. Thank you. Although I might use that one on you next time I see you, so be careful. So, I'm fully capable of not recognizing my own mother if I'm not expecting her somewhere. You're still better at me than... Yeah, no. The other thing that I will say is I got this a little bit from my dad, and for better or for worse. But my dad, he used to introduce himself like, "Hi, I'm Zine's dad." Not specifically that, and he'd say, "Who the hell are you?" And it's just joking, playful. And I picked that up from him to where it's now at times, like if their badges aren't shown and I'm like feeling particularly like I have a little bit of energy or something, they'll be like, "Hey, you're Zine," and I will 100% turn me like, "Hi, I'm Zine. Who the hell are you?" And I mean that very playfully, and I hope no one ever takes that under offensively. They'll be like, I recognize you. You're Zine. And I will look down at my badge and I will say, I recognize me. I'm Zine as well. Like that these are my go-to responses. Just basically like, yes, I know. Who are you? And not that I have to recognize your name, but just like, we can't just talk about how I'm me. Like, tell me a little bit about you too, is really the idea there. Caslov, think of the 6 months. And again, Chloe, think of the 35. So, but yeah, I'm Zine. Who the hell are you? Was absolutely something that I said to people. How's my dad doing? He's doing all right. Enjoy your shower, Astrid. So no real problems on the flights and stuff like that. I know that Blizz got stuck in Salt Lake City for the night, so I gave them some recommendations on things they can do in Salt Lake, or at least like a rough, like, if this is what you like here, try this, that sort of thing. But other than a 10-minute delay on the flight getting home, no real issues there, so that was nice. And at any rate, that's that. And like I said, my pizza has arrived, so I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to go offline and eat and have a little nappy poo. And then in 2 hours, I've got lockdown with Max. So we'll be back live, and we'll do our full stream and everything there. One last bit for you EU folk is the plan at the moment is to move, and I will talk a little bit more about it, but is to move what days the EU days are, probably to Saturday and Sunday. So we'll do the EU days, probably Saturday and Sunday. And that will allow, Ren and I are planning on doing a grounded playthrough, but we will have Christian as part of it. And in order to accommodate everybody's schedule and work and everything like that, we need to move it to the weekends. So We'll have Christian, we'll have Ren, we'll have myself in Grounded. And I don't know if that will be immediately. We haven't set specifically how. We're just kind of getting the base. Like, these are the times. So to be clear to everybody, that's the rough goal. In the meantime, we've still got some Core Keeper to do. We've also got, let's see, Black Myth Wukong that is on the list that will be coming soon. And then I don't know if anyone's heard of this one. It's like Godowa Ragnarok. I think it's French. Am I saying that right, Illy? I think I'm saying that right. And I think that people might enjoy that one as well. We have some fun games coming up where hopefully we can make it to the 10-year mark. We've got a couple months down. We've got several months to go. I wasn't listening for exactly the right 5 seconds, it seems. I was saying Godowa Ragnarok. And I think that's the French game that I'll be playing here soon. At any rate, we will be back here in a couple hours. I'm gonna get some rest, eat a little food, and try and exist. Whew. But until then, thank you guys again for the warm welcome. I hope you enjoyed the Twitch gossip or the TwitchCon gossip. And all of that. It's my friends are all awesome. Be sure you're following each and every single one of them, because if you are seeing that group photo on Twitter and you're not following every person in that group photo, then that's probably because some of those people were like just walking by and confused on why they were there. But mostly you're just missing out on some great people. So we'll be back in a couple hours. I love your faces, guys. And I'll see you all on the other side. Let's see if we have somewhere to go. We don't need to do a whole outro thing because the night's not over yet. But I'm hoping with a little bit of a nap and with some food, I can be my best, biggest, baddest self. And I would love for that to be the case. Let's see. Kara's doing Muggies with 5 up.
Okay.
We have Junk over in a Muggies as well. Cheesy and Elden Ring. Scotch in that Muggies. We don't get to see Reenie much, so let's drop in on Reenie. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Yeah. You guys are all sweet, and I love you. And if I saw you at TwitchCon, thank you so much for coming and saying hi. If you saw me but you didn't dare come say hi, I hope next time you do. And until then, I'll see you guys at 4 p.m. Central. That is 2 p.m. Pacific, and 4 plus 6 is 10 p.m. British, and 11 p.m. Central Europe. Anyway, hi. Have fun. See you guys then.
As I was trying